Hey, what's up guys? Spencer Rhodes here, and this is my video on Judith and what she means in terms of the future of the franchise, whether or not she is the future of the show, and if she's the future of the franchise in general. Could she get her own spin-off show? Will she be the main character in season 15 if AMC and the writers actually plan to keep it on that long? But yeah, I mean, it's possible. It's definitely possible. Because if The Walking Dead gets to season 15, season 16, I mean, they keep saying, oh, The Walking Dead could go on for 20 years. Oh, The Walking Dead could go on for 20 years. I don't think it's likely at this point. I mean, if it's this bad in season 8, if the ratings are dropping this much in season 8, I could see the show ending in season 10, 11, maybe 12 at the latest. That's like the latest. Because that's 4 years away. If they get to season 12, that's another 4.5 years. And the show's already losing momentum. People are already losing interest. It's getting really bad. It's losing ratings. So season 12 would be impressive at this point. I'm thinking the show might end in season 9 or season 10. Unless it redeems itself and pulls itself out of all this bullshit. AMC, Robert Kirkman, Scott Gimple to get all their shit together and fix the fucking show. Then maybe it could be like season 12, season 13, season 16. But The Walking Dead as a franchise is going to stay. It's going to stay for another 10, 20, 30 years. A very long time. You know, I don't know specifically if it'll be around, 100 years from now, but The Walking Dead as a brand, as a franchise, has a lot of life left in it. The main show might not make it to season 15, but the franchise is going to be around no matter what. I mean, we've already seen them with all their different mediums. Video games, comics, figures, books. What else is there? I mean, there's iPhone games. There's new video games that are coming out. The Walking Dead as a brand is here to stay. As a franchise, it is here to stay. It's not going anywhere. The main show might end, like I said, in season 10, season 11, season 12. But as a franchise, I guarantee The Walking Dead is going to stay. It's not going to go anywhere. It's AMC, well, I mean, Robert Kirkman, Skybound, AMC, everyone's going to try to keep it going for as long as they want. Because at the end of the day, for the most part, it's about money. People want to make money off of The Walking Dead. It's a brand that sells. You put it on t-shirts, you put it on cups, you make figures of it. It sells. TV show, video games, comic books, regular books, cartoons. It can sell. The Walking Dead as a franchise can still sell. That doesn't mean that the main show is going to stay forever, for 20 years, but as a franchise, it's going to stay for that long. Now, for the character of Judith, it seems like she's the last remaining symbol of hope. Carl's upcoming death in the show, because he's bitten, he's going to die unless there's some magical cure. He's going to die. So Carl's death in the show, it kind of changes some things. Carl was sort of the symbol of hope. He was going to be kind of the future. Maybe he wouldn't replace Rick as the main character, but he had a good future ahead of him. A good role to play in the future of the show. But now he's gone. His comic material in A New Beginning, never going to happen. And Judith in the comics died a very, very long time ago. So now it's pretty much the opposite in the show. Carl is dead and Judith is alive. So in either the comics or the show, there's one last remaining sort of symbol of hope that's a Grimes family member. In the comics, it's Carl. In the show, it's Judith. So I think Carl's death in the show kind of changes things with Judith. I think it could make Judith more significant as that last remaining symbol of hope. Because if they kill Judith and Carl, I mean, that's pretty messed up. That's pretty fucked up. So I think you need Judith as that last symbol of hope. So they could do a number of things with Judith. If they really want to stretch The Walking Dead out, the main show, they could do a time jump. In season 11, maybe Judith is 10 years old and she's the main character, or one of the main characters. Maybe she's 15 years old and she's one of the main characters. They could cast an actress to play her. They could do this in the main show, or they could end the main show and have there be a spin-off of The Walking Dead, another spin-off like Fear the Walking Dead. have Judith be the main character of that. She could be 15, 14, 13, she could be 20. You could still have Daryl and Carol around, because I feel like at least Daryl is never going to die. I feel like if Daryl was going to die, he would have died by now. He's so popular. You know, they've killed off Glenn, they've killed off Carl. Who have they not killed off? Daryl. And Daryl is so popular. Daryl makes money. So I feel like if they could make a spin-off The Walking Dead show where the main show has already ended, that main storyline, and it goes years and years later, Judith is now the main character. Rick is probably dead. But maybe Daryl and Carol and Michonne and some others are still alive. We could get some elements from the old show, some familiar elements, to make sure that the old fans of the original show come back. So you have your Daryl, and maybe Daryl's like a side character. You know, it doesn't have to be actually years and years and years later in real life. Norman Reedus does not have to be 70 years old. He could, they could. Like put him in different clothes or something. They could try to do something like what they did in Harry Potter, where they use the same actors at the end of the story. It goes like 20 years later, and they use the same actors, and they do some makeup and they just try to make them look older. They could do that with Daryl. I mean, Daryl's Daryl. I mean, they just Daryl could look the same when he's 70 years old. Who knows? But if it's like a 15-year-old Judith, then yeah, it's not a big deal. Maybe they could dye Daryl's hair gray, dye Norman Reedus' hair gray, and have Daryl be sort of a side character that gives Judith advice, kind of like an uncle type of character. Maybe Rick is dead, and Daryl's like giving Judith advice and giving her guidance. But Judith is the main character, and we kind of explore her adventures. That way, it's kind of a fresh experience. It's a good way to revitalize The Walking Dead as a franchise, to keep it going. Maybe they could do that for 10 years. Just have Judith be the new main character, and it's all about her adventures. And by this point, it's 20 years into the apocalypse, maybe 18. Like if Judith is 15, that's probably like 17 years into the apocalypse, 18 years into the apocalypse. So I mean, that would be a little exciting to actually go that long into the apocalypse in the TV show, because even right now it's like 2 years into the apocalypse. I mean, they're trying to pretend like it's 2 years into the apocalypse. It's got to be like 4 or 5 because of how old Carl is and the trash people. It's got to be 4 or 5. I don't know why they keep saying it's 2 years into the apocalypse. It's bullshit. I can't believe they screwed that up. But anyway, if Judith is 15 years old, then it's at least like 17, 18 years into the apocalypse. That would be exciting. We've never seen that before. That could be a really fresh way to have the Walking Dead. The zombies could look so bad, so rotting. They're still walking around maybe. They might not even be able to walk around. But then we'd have all those fresh people that have now died. Maybe there's less walkers, but they're still dangerous because people are still going to be dying. And unless there's a cure, they're going to turn into walkers. So we would still have fresh walkers, but a lot of the walkers from the very beginning, they might have decayed all the way. They might have been falling apart. But we'd still get some fresh walkers because there'd still be people dying. People are going to die no matter what. Even if it's 20 years into the apocalypse, there's still going to be people that die, people turning into walkers. So walkers could still be dangerous. It might be different because some of the very old walkers are just completely like falling apart and like skeletal and are easy to kill. But walkers could still be dangerous, and we'd have all these crazy maniacs that have been just walking around like homeless people for 20 years. We could have all these different groups and different corporations that have been around for 20 years. So a lot of the bad guys, a lot of the new villains, new antagonists could be more dangerous because they've had this system for 2 decades, Everyone that's still alive 20 years into the apocalypse in this new show with this 15-year-old Judith knows how to survive. It would make things more interesting. And I think it would kind of give The Walking Dead a fresh start. It would keep the franchise going because, they just want to keep making money off the brand. It would be a way to keep the old fans around because you'd have, you know, Daryl here and there giving Judith advice and kind of being her uncle figure. It would make sense to kind of keep her alive and have her be the main focus, because that's what they did with Clementine. You know, Clementine was this little kid and Lee was the main character, and Lee died, and then in the sequel Clementine was the main character, and now there's another sequel and she's like 13, and now there's another sequel, she's going to be like 16, I think. So they could do that with Judith. They could have Judith become the super badass warrior teenager 20 years into the apocalypse and follow all of her adventures. I think that could be something that they could do. Whether or not they do that, I don't know. But it seems like a logical thing, because what's the point? What's the point of Judith? Yes, she's the symbol of hope, but what's the point of it, you know? Is the show just going to end with her being 10 years old or something? Or like Rick standing at a porch smiling at her playing with in the yard? I mean, what's the point of Judith? They're keeping Judith alive for a reason. They're going to do something big with her character. I guarantee it. I don't know if she's going to get her own spinoff. I don't know if she's going to be, you know, maybe if the Walking Dead, they could do this with The Walking Dead. They could have her be 15 years old in the main show. They could just do like a 15-year time skip or a 14-year time skip or 10 years, because I guess they're going to do a time skip in season 9. So they could do like another 10-year time skip, and it's a 15-year-old Judith. So season 14 of The Walking Dead, Judith is now the main character. But by then, it really would be kind of a different show. So you might as well end the original show and have this new spin-off show have Judith as a teenager be the main character. I think that could be interesting. I don't know if it would work, but you can be damn sure they're going to do something like that. They're going to do something because they want to make money off of The Walking Dead. Robert Kirkman wants to make money off of The Walking Dead. These corporations, Skybound, AMC, they want to make money off of The Walking Dead. They still can make money. You know, it's a brand. It sells, so they want to make money off of The Walking Dead. Andrew Lincoln is not going to want to stay for another 20 years. Probably not. I mean, they're probably going to kill off Rick, I would say so. They're probably not going to kill off Daryl. I think Daryl's going to stay in for the long haul. He's too popular. Norman Reedus, he wants to just stay on it forever. So I think Daryl's going to stay, but Rick's probably going to die. And Judith is going to become the new lead, the new main character. It's possible. But all I know for sure is The Walking Dead is not, as a franchise, it's not going anywhere. The main show might end, but there's going to be new spin-offs. They might make a Walking Dead movie in theaters. You know, maybe they could make a 12-part mini-movie. There's all these formats. There's all these things that they can do. And they're going to experiment and figure out what works and what doesn't work. Because at the end of the day, they want to make money. So I do think that Judith could be used in this way. They could make a spin-off show and have Judith be the main character, and she's this 15-year-old, because no one's going to want, you know, a 7-year-old as the main character. So she's going to have to be this like teenager, badass teenager that's lived her entire life into the apocalypse. So she's going to be a badass. She's going to be a badass main character. You know, so she could follow in Rick Grimes' footsteps in that way, because she has lived her whole life in the zombie apocalypse. I don't know if we've ever had a show where the main character not only is in the apocalypse of zombies, but has lived her entire life in it. I think that could be an interesting thing to explore. So that's a possibility. I think that is something that they could do with Judith. Whether or not they will remains to be seen, but I guarantee you The Walking Dead is not going anywhere as a franchise. Something is going to be done with it, because people want to keep making money. AMC, Skybound, Robert Kirkman, they want to milk it for all it's worth. It's a brand that's going to keep going for decades. So those are my thoughts and opinions. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Don't be shy. Hit that like and subscribe. I'm not going anywhere. We are at 29 subscribers right now. My first goal is 250. So if you could please support this channel and hit that subscribe button, I would greatly appreciate it. I will be truly, deeply grateful to all of you that not only watch this video but subscribe. I'm just incredibly grateful. Once we get to 250 subscribers, I'm going to make a celebration video. I'm going to try to make it really awesome, just like the most awesome video of all time. Just the most awesome fucking video. And I'm not just saying it, I mean it. It's going to blow your minds. So the sooner I get to 250 subscribers, the sooner we're going to get to that badass celebration video. So please hit that subscribe button and support this channel. I know I'm kind of being a bitch and I'm asking for a lot, but I would greatly appreciate it. I would deeply appreciate anyone that wants to hit the subscribe button, just please do it. You will not regret it. I guarantee it. I make 1 to 2 videos a day, do a lot of Walking Dead videos. I'm going to start doing some video game playthroughs. In fact, that might be something I try tomorrow or the day after. So we're going to try to record some games and put that on YouTube and see what that's like. But yes, please hit that subscribe button. Let me know what you guys think of this idea of what they're going to do with Judith. And let me know what you think in the comments. Anyway, I'm Spencer Rhodes. I will see you guys later. Bye.